Hey everybody, TK here for Theme King TK, and happy Halloween everyone, and hello boils and ghouls. I hope you're ready for skeletons of fun. Releasing this video on Halloween, and it's been a long time coming. Haunt season, I'd like to say it's reaching its crescendo. Today is Halloween, and I come to you from my spooky study. Now, I have been to Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood 5 times thus far this season. I plan to go on November 1st, get one more trip in there, but it's about time that I take you through each of the houses. I'm going to take you through my most recent walkthrough of all 8 houses, show you the scare zones as well, terror tram, give you my thoughts on the houses. Now, I also went to 3 nights of HHN in Universal Studios Orlando, so I'll be able to compare and contrast a little bit as well, what I thought maybe worked better in one versus the other. So get fired up, because it's time to head to our first house, and we are going to kick things off with Monstruos 2, or Monstruos Dos, the nightmares of Latin America.
Una vez terminado el juego, el rey y el peón vuelven a la misma caja. Take this grave. Este hombre wanted to be the richest man in the village, so he took the sack of oro from El Charro. The Dark Horseman and El Diablo. Rich or poor, they all become food for the ratas. El diablo siempre cobra sus deudas. You desire.
Thoughts on Monstros Dos? I really liked it. I think a suitable successor to last year's, which then, of course, ended up in Orlando. The El Charro character, really cool looking with his skeletal horse. I think the weakest room was probably El Cadejo. I mean, the animatronic heads were cool. I just wish they had a little more. Like when La Llorona had that big head that would like eat a kid. I wish they had a big El Cadejo head that would be biting on like a victim, a live actor victim. I think would have been cool. But El Cucuy, man, delivered in a big way, just visually so cool, so creepy. I like how all three of the monsters had red glowing eyes. That tied it together. Of course, we had Muerte back as our guide, as our narrator. This works so well in the upper lot at Universal Studios Hollywood. I included the Luchadores Monstruosos scare zone as well because they blend so well together. They really do a lot to promote that Latino culture. All right, up next is A Quiet Place. And this one would have been a daunting task in the old Walking Dead building, which they've completely gutted now. And I like on the screens here at Hollywood, there is a team member that works at Universal Studios Hollywood that is hearing impaired. And actually, this is the first house to utilize American Sign Language as we take a look here. And she trained the scare actors that were in the house using American Sign Language as warning. Quiet Place was an extremely impressive themed walkthrough of sets that made you feel like you were right in the movie. I think Hollywood maybe did a better job of hiding some of the creatures. They were a little more telegraphed in Florida, but Florida had some incredible stuff too, like the start of the house in Florida, the kind of sensory deprivation, completely dark, quiet, no audio, and then you'd have a scare from one of the death angels. But Hollywood did a fantastic job of getting scares out of the victim as well, out of the human characters, and the human characters utilizing the American Sign Language was much more evident, I thought, in the Hollywood house. I'm really amazed at how they transformed the old Walking Dead building, which since has been used for Universal Horror Hotel and Evil Dead Rise. I think they knocked down all the walls. The sets in here were expansive. They were beautiful. The animatronics were really something to behold. Some of them were just immense, enormous, and just, captured that sense of dread, of literally walking on eggshells or trying not to walk on eggshells. It was phenomenally done, and I'm sure a huge challenge creatively. As we head towards the lower lot, we check in on the Murder of Crows scare zone. All right, after a gauntlet of escalators, we made our way down to the lower lot. And we are going to kick off the lower lot houses with Dead Exposure Death Valley, an original concept. Orlando has HHN Bear. We have HHN Gorilla and Dead Exposure, along with this guy, the other MVP of the house. Dead Exposure, I thought was a lot of fun, a really fun original house. That, of course, the concept was born in Orlando, but this was a Hollywood take on it, like the whole military facility. You know, you had a variety of scares from, you know, victims to the super soldier zombies themselves. I was really bummed that the gorilla was missing from this particular walkthrough, but he was the star of the house for sure, and I think really elevated the house. But overall, a lot of fun, just fun concept, you know, classic kind of colorful house in terms of the glowing kind of radioactive ooze. It almost felt like a house you would see outside of HHN at like a different type of haunt event. But that's what, you know, is fun about these originals is the creative team can just have some fun with it and create some memorable characters. Again, like the gorilla. Ironically, this house had a really good cold section, which was missing, and more on this later, from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, because the air conditioning unit for that house broke down. But this was a lot of fun, and I know a lot of people really have a lot of love for this house. Up next is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: Legacy of Leatherface.
The
road by them trucks passing through. Sick ones, the farmers put down.
So crazy! You gotta make them stop!
Give him a whack!
Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre Legacy of Leatherface was tons of fun, brought the gore, celebrated 50 years since the original. As Murdy said, kind of a multiverse of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because you would see versions of Leatherface from the entire film collection. And it made it
very like rewritable, I guess you could say, revisitable, because each time you might see a Leatherface you didn't see before in your last walkthrough, and you would see different things, plus other great characters like Chop Top, Grandpa, the Hitchhiker were all there, and in a setting that was talked about in the films, but we've never been to, as Murdy said, the slaughterhouse. But then it all comes full circle to the Sawyer house. So this was happening parallel to the events of the first film. Just awesome. The scare actors brought it. You saw that shot of Leatherface sawing through the wall, through the door. You have the one in the kitchen that's like licking his lips in the old lady mask, you know, and then they'd come firing out with the chainsaws. It was just a good time, and makes me wish that HHN had celebrated some other notable anniversaries this year, like Nightmare on Elm Street celebrating 40 years, and like Creature from the Black Lagoon celebrating 70 years. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a huge get for Hollywood and a major IP that Orlando didn't get this year. And on that note, next up is another Hollywood exclusive IP this year, The Weeknd Nightmare Trilogy. So I think it's safe to assume that The Weeknd might have won Facade of the Year. He would often be depicted up there DJing as well, either in this form or the old man form. Another just, such an interesting house, such interesting visuals. Obviously, The Weeknd has got a lot of just bizarre, crazy, and creative ideas going on up in that brain, whether it comes to music or houses. And this was another fun one. I think that I prefer the After Hours Nightmare House just in terms of number of scares and, a little more gore and stuff. But this one was really fun too. Kind of the journey of where the soul goes after death. They had Club Death there that, the old man, Weeknd would come firing through that coffin shaped door and then, these different rooms with the lights, whether it's, purgatory, heaven, hell, wherever the soul is going, all with some of those Weeknd beats and stuff going in the background too. Good time, a great variety of characters. Again, you had a cool stilt walker in there that would come out at like the tolling of a bell. And another major IP that Florida didn't get that helped, I think, Hollywood kind of even the playing field a little bit. I still think Orlando overall had the better event this year, and I'm always rooting for Hollywood, but having The Weeknd certainly provided Hollywood with another heavy hitter. And now into historic Stage 12. There you see Boris Karloff, of course, as Frankenstein's monster. So much history happened when it comes to Universal Monsters in Stage 12 as we look at some of the sets of the Van Helsing crypt. I mean, scenes from Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, and so many other films. I mean, the Visitor Center of Jurassic Park, Whoville, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, all shot in this magical place. And for the first time, a house was inside historic Stage 12. This place has such an aura as we head to the house.
Runs strong in my family's bloodline, just as evil courses through the house of Dracula. I was given this name by my father. It means protector of mankind, valley of light. But with my brother's death at the hands of Dracula's daughter, darkness has fallen, and our
My pursuit of Dracula's brides has brought me to this place. My pursuit. Together we embarked on a fateful journey. Aim for the heart. 2-7
So Eternal Bloodlines definitely grew on me as the season went. This was a good walkthrough at the end. You could see just scare was a really good final run there, but had some missing elements, or not missing, but some timing issues earlier in this run. And early in the season, it really was hampered by missing scare actors at certain times. But just being inside incredibly historic Stage 12 was a real thrill. Now, I must say, I think the Orlando house was better because just the sets were bigger. When you entered Van Helsing's crypt, it was snowing. They had a really cool scene with She-Wolf where she was on kind of a pulley or bungee thing and would get shot with a crossbow and rappel back. But this one, the Slash's score here in Hollywood kind of helped elevate this one as well. There was just an incredible feeling, an incredible aura of being in Soundstage 12. Now, I did think it was kind of funny that they created this Saskia Van Helsing character just to kill her off. First time I saw her get decapitated, I thought, well, maybe this is going to be one of those houses where it changes. Maybe sometimes it's going to be Saskia that wins. Maybe it'll be her partner in crime here, Bride of Frankenstein, or maybe the monsters will win. But nope, you're not going to beat the monsters in Stage 12. As Igor would say, they die dead, I die live. Back on the upper lot, let's check out some action from Chainsaw Punks and Skull Lords. It is time for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire because, after all, bustin' makes me feel good.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Ghosts. Garaka. Now he's headed straight for us. Parables tell of an unimaginable evil commanding an army of ghosts. Garaka. Now he's headed straight for us. Parables tell of an unimaginable commanding an army of ghosts. Garaka. For the first time in New York history, people froze to death in the middle of July.
What in tarnation?
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, super fun house. Bit of a mixed bag this walkthrough. We didn't get Trevor. We had a Slimer pop-up animatronic that wasn't working as well. But, you know, it was a lot of fun. I will say that the hallway of the containment units was great. The Scoleri brothers, of course, Vigo, the Carpathian, the Librarian Ghosts, and we had Garaka in there as well. The Stiltwalker Garaka was missing from this run-through. But overall, a great house. It just needed to be cold in Hall. John Murdy had mentioned that the air conditioner for this house, the big air conditioning unit, had broken. Apparently never got fixed or replaced. And I gotta admit, it did kill the vibe a little bit, especially opening weekend where LA had record high temperatures. You're in these rooms that look all frozen. It was like 95 degrees in there, but overall a fun house. Last but certainly not least, Insidious the Further.
Filled with the tortured souls of the dead, and some are doomed to live the worst mistakes of their lives over and over and over for all eternity.
And now, my dear friends, I'd like to dedicate this song to all of you out there, wherever you may be. This song is for you.
Possess our bodies. It's happened to me. And it's done it to you. Don't. These things.
He's got your baby. He's got your baby. He's got your baby. He's got your baby. He's got your baby.
Or something's getting closer to me. I feel like I'm getting closer to something. Or something's getting closer to me. I feel like... He's coming back for you. 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 Stop. Make it stop. No. Make it stop. Make it stop. Make it stop. Close the door.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
Don't you dare!
If she sees you, she'll not be afraid.
All right, everybody okay? We all made it out okay? My goodness, Insidious the Further on both coasts just brought it. Just wall-to-wall scares. Never a bad walkthrough. If you miss something, you're going to get hit from the other side. I think the Orlando house has almost become like legendary. It was very intense, but Hollywood brought it as well. House of the year. I mean, this thing just has everything. Great sets, just ominous. It's the most unnerving house to walk through. And you are going to just get besieged by a variety of demons from throughout the Insidious films. I mean, it's nonstop, wall to wall. I think Orlando has become almost legendary for its house this year, but Hollywood was good too. And tiptoe through the tulips. Very, very creepy. From there, you've got, the Tram is almost an unofficial ninth house. You get to step off the tram real close to some amazing sets, like the Psycho house. And here is where you can visit Log Bunny, if you can find him. Apparently, he's been kidnapped lately. And some great photo ops as we're going to take a look at some clips from Tram.
Want to hang out? This is the part where you run.
Please help me! Please help me purge!
So last year's Tram was Larry Larva, original concept. It was cool to have a major IP back with Blumhouse. I thought Tram worked really well, very immersive, walking through Bates Motel, through War of the Worlds, and then interacting with a lot of the Blumhouse characters. I thought it was much more immersive than the Orlando Enter the Blumhouse Scare Zone. Well done, Hollywood.
All right, so there you have it. We checked out all 8 houses at 2024 Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood. I thought it was a really fun year, some really great efforts. And I thought it was really interesting, again, how Hollywood got 2 major IPs that Orlando didn't, talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the legacy of Leatherface, celebrating 50 years since the original. And it was cool just seeing the different iterations of Leatherface from throughout the history of the franchise. And The Weeknd returning, and another mind-bending, mind-twisting house, and along with his music, just a good vibe returning. But make sure you also check out my video on Universal Studios Orlando. I talk about fun things you can do in the park, creepy things to get ready for HHN, and I break down my thoughts on all 10 houses there. And I thought that, you know, Orlando really knocked it out of the park in a big way with a lot of their houses. I think Orlando's Insidious is probably top house of the year for both coasts for me. Insidious Hollywood was great as well. I loved Orlando's Ghostbusters. You know, just having it built inside a soundstage just allowed them to build a little bit bigger. Their firehouse was so impressive, the way it would just freeze over with the screen effects and you'd have a Garaka Stiltwalker come out. But I liked how Hollywood brought back the Scaleri brothers. Both brought back Vigo, which was great. But again, it was a great year. In Orlando too, I love some of their originals like Goblin's Feast was super fun. But now haunt season is coming to an end. It started way back in July for me when I went to Midsummer Scream. I've got a video on my channel of that as well, which was a great time. But what to do? Well, we don't need to fret, guys. Now, if you haven't been to HHN, if you're watching this, it is Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody, of course. But you have a couple more nights. It's going to run through November 3rd this year. So get there, and you can score some really, really cheap merch. As of now, I think it's been 50% off. 70% off is probably right around the corner. And generally, merch will get up to 90% off. And I mean, you cannot beat that. But then from there, there's still more news on the horizon. We don't have to wait till next haunt season. You can see the shirt I'm wearing here. Give it a little Universal Monsters love, because Universal just gave us some incredible images and video of the animatronics in Universal Monsters Unchained, which will be the biggest attraction in Dark Universe at Epic Universe. And I think it's going to be the attraction of the park. I cannot wait. Let's take a closer look at some of these incredible animatronics, and welcome to a new world of gods and monsters.
Frankenstein. Together, we will finish what my great-grandfather started. Show them.
Monsters Unchained has the most technologically advanced animated figures that have ever been built in the attraction.
These are monsters for the next generation of fans. We wanted to make sure that we kept everything that was familiar, kept everything that was the essence of these monsters. But we wanted to take it to another level. These monsters are scary.
These animated figures are moving faster than any figures we have built, and we have so many of them. We have 14 animated figures across this ride floor.
And they are visceral, they are powerful, they are intense, and from a technical standpoint, they exceed beyond everyone's wildest expectations for what an animated figure can do.
I mean, blown away by those figures. Incredible. I'm just, the skin, everything just looks so realistic. Especially Wolfman looks amazing. I love that, you know, I'm a huge Creature fan. I love that they made him a little more fierce with the teeth and everything like that. Looks like the figure is swimming at one point, so I'm sure they're going to do some incredible stuff with props, you know, plants and screen and stuff to make it feel like you're underwater. I cannot wait. Wolfman looks great. And Dracula, even though like in the concept art, I wasn't crazy about Dracula's outfit. Boy, oh boy, when they show that animatronic, does he look lifelike? He looks like a living, breathing, immortal being that's been haunting for centuries. But I cannot wait. And then on top of that, news on Universal Horror Unleashed coming to Las Vegas coming soon. So it's only a matter of time, guys. We're getting closer and closer to spooky season being year round. We don't have to have the, you know, the werewolf say, oh, when the mayor says it's only 365 days till next Halloween. 364. It's going to be year round, baby. So sooner than later, I'll see you in the fog.